Welcome girls to my very first tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you all my fluffy braid out. I'm going to start with the Shea Moisture African Black Soap Balancing Conditioner as my styler, and of course moisturizer. I'm going to seal my ends with the Cream and Cocoa Hair and Body Butter. I'm going to use a rat tail comb to help part, and a paddle brush just for some tangles that may occur. And of course, you can't do it without water. I'm going to start with the conditioner, and I want to get enough on my hands to moisturize my hair and get it evenly through every strand of hair without too much product. If you use too much product for this fluffy braid out, then it won't be fluffy at all. It'll be quite contained, and if you're looking for more definition, then you just use a little bit more product. I'm looking for more fluff and not as much definition, so I'm using less product. I'm just working through I'm working the product through my hair, and I'm going to separate it now, that larger section, into a smaller section. I want these to be medium-sized braids, not large and not small. I want them to be medium, and that's how I can get that nice fluffy look. I'm going ahead here and I'm going to detangle just to get rid of any knots and tangles or anything that I couldn't feel with my fingers before I begin a braid. These are just plaits, just regular braids. I don't braid to the scalp. I don't have that skill set yet. And so you'll see me just braiding as if I were braiding a child's hair. You want to make sure your braid is nice and taut. If you want even less definition than what I'm going for, then you'll want to braid looser. You'll want a nice loose braid. But I want a taut braid because even though I'm going for a fluffier braid out, I don't have a lot of product on my hair. So if I go for a nice taut braid, it'll meet me right in the middle where I want to be, and you'll see it at the end. You want to be sure to detangle and get out any knots that you may gain on the way down your braid. It's really important to keep it all nice and detangled. Now, once I get down to the end of the braid, I don't take my braid all the way down. I don't even do this when I braid my daughter's hair. At the end, I stop and I twist. And if I want to protect the ends, you can just use like a scrunchie or something to, tuck your ends away. But I'm just going to use some butter to seal the ends and then twist the rest of the ends instead of braiding them. So that way also it's easier to take the braid apart in the morning, and I'm not struggling with the ends of the braid causing frizz because it's so tightly braided. So here I'm just finishing off the braid, taking it down just a little further. And about right here is where I'm going to start twisting. See that? I'm separating the hair for a twist. And I'm grabbing some cream and cocoa butter for the ends. And I'm just going to twist it out. Twisting it all the way down, finishing off that braid. Twisting the ends with my fingers to create a nice little coil and help it retain moisture. And we're done. Now we're going to move on to the second braid rather. And you see me kind of fumbling around here with my this happens every day. Every time I wash my hair, I don't care if I'm in the mirror or not. It's hilarious. I laugh at myself. Here I'm just separating. I didn't use the comb because a lot of times if I don't need to, I'll just use my fingers and separate the hair. Because this is a braid out, it's going to be fluffed together anyway. Exact parts aren't necessary. So I'm just going through and adding a little bit of butter to my scalp. And I'm going to go through here and detangle, adding my conditioner slash moisturizer and slash styler. I love this product. I really do. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite conditioners. It is just an all-around great conditioner. You can deep condition, or you can detangle with it. You can, of course, style with it. You can pre-poo with it. It's a great conditioner. I wouldn't, of course, co-wash or anything with it. It's not a cleansing conditioner, but it's a really great all-around conditioner. I think I have like 2 bottles of this stuff left. I try to keep it stocked because it is one of my favorites. And when you're looking for a fluffy hairstyle, braid out especially, it's kind of my go-to. I know I can always get great results with it. Of course, just detangling here. And I'm going to start forming another braid. One thing you want to think about when you're trying to, when you're formulating your braids is trying to make sure your separations, your 3 separations for your braids are even from your root to the tip. You know, oftentimes you start your braid and you get down to the bottom and you're like, oh, like one side's longer than the other and you didn't really separate it properly. I do it all the time. So it's just a reminder because it does help to keep your braid uniformed. And also when you're taking it down, it can create less frizz. So I'm just braiding it all the way down and working my way to the ends. Gonna detangle and get out any knots. And if you need to add more product as you get further down, if you feel like it's getting dry or if I need water, of course you add it according to your hair's needs. My hair is still pretty damp here, so I'm just working it down and just making sure there's no knots. Okay, right about here is where I'll start to add some butter and twist it out. There goes the butter, and I'm just making sure both sides are coated. This butter was really nice. It's a hair and body butter. We mostly used it, well, actually, we mostly use it on the body, but I love it for the hair too. And there we go. Now the hair is getting a little bit dry. I'm going to go ahead and add some water, working that water from root to tip. I want to make sure that no parts of the hair is dry. I went ahead and showed you guys a close-up of what it looks like in the front, because I believe you got the gist on the last clip from what was happening. It's just a regular plait, but for those of you who might have thought it was too far away, I want to get a little closer for you so you could see. So this is the very front of my hair, and this is how the braid begins. I braid underneath. It's just the way I've always done it. It's most comfortable for me. You can braid up or down. It doesn't matter. It's going to come out pretty much the same. Slight difference maybe, but it'll be the same. Okay, and you see it's just a regular old plait. Sealy braids. And you can see there's not a ton of product on the hair. There's just enough. And you'll see what I'm talking about on this one a little once we get to the end of the braid about the unevenness. The front of my hair is one of the most uneven parts of my hair, mostly because I always am cutting it. Every time I get a diva cut or get my ends trimmed or something, that's I lose a good amount, or I always tell the beautician, hey, just let's cut a bang or something. So you'll see here it's just a little, one side is a little thinner on the other than the other, but I just twist it all together. That's the beauty of the twist. And there you go. That's that. This is the next morning. I had to do this at the crack of dawn, so please excuse the lighting. There was no light. It was still dark outside, so this is just the light from my bedroom. And so I'm just taking the braids down. I did add a little bit of product to my fingers, a little bit of butter, just a little bit to take it down to help prevent any frizz. And I did start taking down some of the braids already, just for the sake of time, of course, because I am going to work this particular morning. This is a Monday morning. And so we're just taking the braids down, working my way up. You want to take your time, so I wanted to make sure I woke up early enough to do this to where I wasn't rushing through and causing frizz, because if you're bolting through those braids, you're going to cause some frizz. So I'm just working my way up the braid, section by, section by section of the braid. And if you can already see it, it might be a little difficult because of the light. You can see that it has some really nice definition already. It's because of that nice taut braid and minimal product, but it's not condensed down to where I have all definition and no body. There's some body to my hair, and so that's what I was going for. Okay, and there that goes. It's nice and separated. And here we are. This is all of the braids taken out. We are complete in our braid taken outishness. Yes, that's a word. I just made that up. Okay, so there's a part in the back because I have not separated nor fluff. I'm going to use my fingers to do this. And what I do is just what you're seeing me do now. Just fluff the hair up and in with my fingers, and that's it. I just move the hair around, cover up that little part. That's that. You can see there's very minimal frizz from the takedown, and it's nice and fluffy, and there's still shine. And that's that, girls. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Concept behind a diva cut is that they take each individual curl. They tell you, you come into the salon, they want you to come